how many times do we hear it in the playoffs, certainly in teams that just missed the playoffs, if we only could protect our quarterback, if we only had the run game to go along with the quarterback. That's why a day like today is so crucial. Daniel Jeremiah, let's talk about those tackles that are out there.
It's a good group, Rich, and it's funny, a lot of folks when they're watching those games in the fall go, we need offensive linemen. Then you get to the spring and these shiny objects like wide receivers. Oh, yeah. I think I'd rather have that.
Right.
Now, you can build up front in this draft, and you can do it with guys who have the versatility potentially to play outside or inside. Look at the top two guys, Maui Noa and Fanu there. And then you've got three more I think we're going to see come off the board in the first round, 5 of the top 29 players. When you get to Maui Noa, if you've watched Miami in their march to play in the national championship game, it was all about the line of scrimmage. We saw Ruben Bain on defense. Here it's Maui Noa on offense. Physicality, physicality, physicality. He can move you in the run game, and you can't get through his chest in pass protection. He's just too strong. And then Utah has been known as a place to produce offensive linemen. They're well coached, and they are very tough. They don't throw the ball a ton there, but they are going to run it, and Fanu is excellent at moving people in the run game. He's athletic out in space, and I think he has upside as a pass protector.
Yet the offensive line group that has the best prospect, at least on your draft board, the 13th overall, 11th, I don't want to downgrade, 11th overall prospect in your top 50 is an interior lineman, Olaivevenga Ioane from Penn State. Yeah, I'm hooked on phonics. Tell me about this kid.
Yeah, Venga, I think he's the best one, and you mentioned where he is on my list, but he's someone I think is plug and play. I think he'd be a Pro Bowler right out the gate. He's got strong, powerful hands, and he is a finisher. A couple other interior offensive linemen I think we see come off the board in day 2 there. It's a good, solid group. This is the one first-rounder, though, and they use him in a lot of different areas. They use him, they'll actually put him out at some tight end. They'll let him move around, and once he gets his hands on you, you can ask Oregon how that ends. It is not a fun ride, and there's the finisher.
Right. And no matter what happens here in the Final Four in April, please know the most glorious dunker in this building this year is the guy on the screen. Jennings Dunker of Iowa. We're getting ready for big men to run. And yeah, flow.
Important part of the run is
Austin Barber from Florida is the first one out.
And if you're looking at offensive tackles, which Barber is for the Gators.
57 offensive linemen invited to the combine and all split into 2 groups. And that's the final day today. Berenson.
A little bit better.
I just cannot get over the size of this man. All right.
Much better.
How many times have you seen .14 sliced off of a 40? .503 from Besances.
Yeah, really good time for him. He doesn't have the ideal length, a little bit short arms, but you can watch the Miami game, and Bain would come in there and get some work against him. That was an epic battle with those guys.
Nicely done for Bowery. A little fist pump. Why not?
There, but these general managers I spoke with really believe you can get instant impact starters in the first round of this draft. Probably, I'd say a couple probably in the top 10. Plenty of good options to bolster the offensive line moving forward.
And
Interesting as a center in that 3rd, 4th round range.
Memphis, Travis Burke. Burton, who had the 40 lead for a hot second, lowers his time to 4.94.
2 excellent times.
Trying to cut it to the 5.07.
He looks good when he's running.
He does. He cuts into it by a half a
that was smooth.
thousandth. Fernando Carmona. Alabama had a good day yesterday.
Line.
Cage Casey. Running on white turf. 5.21.
Crownover's got 35 3/8 arms.
Yeah.
He is enormous.
I mean, we're going to be having this conversation about Bain for the next 2 months.
I know.
Enrique Cruz of Kansas Jayhawks getting ready to go, and then in a few more runners it'll be Jennings Dunker. And guys, I'm curious, do you think that Frank Crum is sitting at home just like Xavier Worthy when he's watching all the guys run the 40s? He's trying to compare the mullets. He doesn't want to give up the rep.
person did take a seat, just in case you're wondering. J.C. Davis for the 516. Stacy?
Rich,
No,
he keeps
thank
coffee
you.
in his bag, Rich.
Good to know. Garrett D. Giorgio of UCLA is running here.
Plays tackle and guard. I think he's better inside.
Wake up, your cousin's running. There he goes. Jennings Dunker, 519.
Had his head down for most of that run.
Oh, he has to, otherwise it's aerodynamically improper. Cameras, right?
Yes, exactly. Here we go. There we go.
By the way, Spencer Fano.
Let's go. He's against. Good start.
Nice finish, too.
Yeah, he was rolling.
240. That was his goal. He was joking. He's extremely funny, you guys. He's going to be a great addition to a locker room.
Freeling improves on his time.
Watch the video and show you it's not just the size and the speed that he brings to the table. This guy's got some real upside. Talk about balance and pass protection. When he is on balance, he wins 100% of the time. In the run game, he can generate some movement here. You see his ability to latch, plays with good leverage, and create some movement. And then the combo blocks. This is what I love. Watch him get to the hip here, and then watch him redirect and get up to this linebacker. That's outstanding athleticism and movement. Again, the angles in space, excellent there. The athleticism shows up on the field. Here he is again, getting out to that third level, able to pick off a defender. You think about the athleticism, the size, remind me a little bit of what the numbers spit out here with Anthony Costanzo going back to 2011.
And he actually acknowledged, DJ, that it has come in handy. He's been in some compromising situations on the field, but falls back on that flexibility now.
Yeah, it's a great trait to have.
Same thing as listening to your mother.
Ben, he's smart.
Aaron in Maryland, 509. Now running a combine.
Good 10
Nice split. Yeah. And a nice time. 491. That's tied for the best. The official 40s are in. And Fano and Ihanichor with the 491s.
Great times.
Timed, right?
It's the fast combine.
And then you got 5 more sub 540s as well.
Well, you got a up close and personal look at some of the big boys on future NFL Sundays. What'd you think?
Yeah, fantastic. And you're talking about athleticism on display as well as versatility, because Spencer Fano, we're talking about being one of the top draft choices, and we're talking about him playing tackle. There's also discussion, can he move inside to guard? And you know what else he's doing after he just got done with the regular field drill work? He's moved over to snap the football.
I thought you were going to say he was returning punts.
Well, he might be able to do that too with that foot movement. Look how light he is on everything that he's doing. They're about 300-pound men, not leaving much of a footprint in the snow. But when they get there and arrive for collision time, someone else is going to get moved.
Yeah, a 4.91.40, which tied for the best mark out of this first group. We had 7 guys clock in sub 5 flat. So guys are moving that.
That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Pretty good.
I've been told by a running backs coach years ago that he tells his running backs to go out on the field and get around guys like him, Fano, and Vera Tucker, and let the ground shake underneath you so you get used to it when the game starts. But look at how that matches up well. And Vera Tucker's a perennial guy to be an all-pro when he is healthy. Fano, same type of athleticism.
You had your eye on the 4 Texas A&M Aggies that we were going to see today, and what'd you think of Chase Basantis?
Well, you heard our colleague Daniel Jeremiah say that Basantis not getting out of day 2. Likely second, third round pick and an immediate starter in this league. And you can see why. It's the movement skills. What you see on tape is what he also does when he moves people in the run game, protects in the pass game. Look how easily Skip pulls there and then gets upfield. And guess what? If you're the target downfield that's going to get hit after a 5-10-yard run, you're going. And you're going backwards and probably over. But look at him move. Look how he just slides so easily there. Think about a basketball player doing the wave drill and trying to defend. That's what you're doing there when you're doing against pass rushers.
When you're just talking strictly about the numbers, the comparison is Cooper Beebe, a guy who had never played center before he got to Dallas. Slide him on over.
And you move over, and you want all these guys to take these snaps and see if they can do that. Because if you establish a great pivot and right the guy at the front of your offensive line, you're extremely happy. And speaking of guys who are going to move, Jennings Dunker was a tackle in college. Might be able to survive out there in the NFL, but I think he got a chance to be an excellent pro as a guard inside. That's where he fits so well. Look at him. The effort, without question. Nice change of direction there twice. When he turned upfield, and then when he had the direction from the coach. Look at him on the pull. What do you say, guys? We want to get out of the way on that one, little business decision if he pulls and no one else is getting hit? I'd say yes, without a doubt. We spent a lot of time talking about his hair, but I want everybody to understand we're having fun with that, but the evaluation of him as a player, strong. He's one of those guys that, hey, get him going, move him inside the guard, he's going to make your team better.
And when you're talking about
you, but the hair is
This
might be the best
it's
hair
actually a shame the guy's got to play with
it's hard to get past it's hard to get past the hair, and he has hair like the Undertaker in his prime.
Oh man, Taker.
Well, Brandon Scherf, who's had a pretty good career and was an Iowa Hawkeye.
And Brandon Scherf was, what, a top 6 pick in the NFL? I don't think Jennings Dunker is going to go that high. But if you're an Iowa Hawkeye offensive lineman, you are well schooled with a great chance to be a heck of a player. And this is the opposite of that, because this is a guy that we found late in the process, and Maxi Honachor.
Yeah, he's got to be the most fascinating guy because he did not play this sport until he was a late teenager.
Right, he got out of high school, junior college, the whole deal. He's one of those guys that, young man, you should be playing football. Remember, his family came to the United States when he was from Nigeria. And was he 13 years old? Nigeria to Compton to junior college, off he goes to Arizona State, and he has taken such great advantage of this run up to the draft. Stacey Dales had a great report about what he was doing with the team interviews, all the things he's doing, meeting with the media, soaking it all up, and starting to understand that this process is working quite well for him because of everything he's done on the field. And now we're seeing even more. Daniel Jeremiah did say he might work his way into the first round, and that is not hyperbole.
Yeah, clocked in at a 4.91, which is pretty good.
Not real long, but good play strength. Ran really well.
Boy, his head didn't really move. Nice run. It's an excellent, really nice run. There he goes.
Solid 10.
5 flat. Zabel last year to the mix.
Yep. I think that Blake Miller went breathless that whole 40 there. He held it all the way through. As we look at Micah Morris from Georgia.
Great split.
Great split. Solid time there. Again, the 10-yard split is the number you're looking for. A Ramseyist receiver earlier?
The Ramseyist receiver. And Stacey just detailed, I believe, to her. Right, oh, that's an extra pounds right here. And here we go.
There he goes. Big man running.
Got 11-inch hands.
Here he goes.
It's a smooth run.
Arma J. Reed Adams of Texas A&M. Again, 13 Aggies here. Keelan Rutledge.
I like this kid. He is tough. And one of the nastiest linemen in the draft. I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Drew Shelton.
There you go. Senior Bowl as well. Slaughter is a center. I had him graded as like a 3rd, 4th round pick, and he's another one that's got a really good time.
Bo Stevens, another Hawkeye.
Interior lineman. A left guard. Tell you, I don't know about what's our pace car situation for you here, Rich.
Earlier today.
Not one. We've had years though where we've had significantly slower than that.
I know. One of our really good players blew his knee out over the weekend.
Oh, jeez.
5:02.
Number 10, he's ready to roll.
Yeah. Gorsuch might have a flight to catch too.
Let him go.
I mean, how many times have you seen people just jam their arms back and go, get the whistle? Logan Jones ran a 4.9 flat. There you go.
Fantastic time.
And Lomu got under 5. So guess what?
Are we going to tell me that this was the most the
It's
fastest?
the fastest group. Yep. The quarterbacks in this quarterback-driven league are the only ones at this combine that couldn't do it. Come on, QBs. Almost. Maybe next year it'll be 8 for 8.
Earlier in the day, we saw his Utah running mate, Caleb Lomu, in the second group. What'd you think of his movement skills? Because that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about, because if you're going to play tackle, you got to be able to dance with all those guys who are flying off the edge, who bring power off the edge, and movement skills. And Caleb Lomu talked very, very openly about how proud he was of not giving up a sack against his quarterback. These are the types of guys that you want out there that are saying, not on my watch, you're not getting to my QB.
It'll be interesting to see where he ends up. One of the top tackles that's available on the board this year. But
yeah, and you know, with he and Fano, both of them, do you wonder, do they move inside as well and get work done? And I know that Fano took some snaps at center after all of his drills were over.
And was proud of it.
And was very proud of it. But look, you mentioned the Seahawks. Look at this.
Yeah, Abe Lucas is a guy that, he's battled injuries, obviously, throughout the start of his career. But when he's been healthy, he's been the opposite side of Charles Cross. He went in the third round, but he has been a steady player for the Super Bowl champions.
Steady and got paid this year, too.
This is the best lineman right here, according to Daniel Jeremiah, on his top 50. And he didn't run the 40, fine. You saw it with the movement skills. He's mean, and he can do just about anything he wants.
He's a guy that you just do not want to get in his way when he does any type of a pull like that and greets you in the hole. It's a bad reception for you on the other side. All right, yep, protect your guy, get out and move that way. Bottom line, though, is he is going to move people. At the line of scrimmage, what did Russ Grimm say? Being a great offensive lineman is the ability to move a person who does not want to be moved from position A to position B, totally against their will. Venga does exactly that.
Well, Kevin Zeitler is a former first-round pick, and what a heck of a career he has had. He's played with multiple teams, but man, oh man, the measurements equal.
Yeah, go ahead.
You get that sort of play. That's a great career.
You give Kevin Zeitler's career, you take it right now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and his bank account too.
Definitely his bank account and his longevity
Miller,
and durability.
He was pretty much a starter day one when he got to school. More than 50 starts. What do you see out of him?
Well, you saw movement right there, which is terrific, right? But you also have a toughness element to him, and he's going to get in there and battle you on each and every snap. Look at him with the nice little pull to the corner. How'd you like to be a running back on a toss play and have him escorting you, coming down the line of scrimmage and blocking people? I know one thing, Clemson went through their share of struggles last year, didn't have the season that they wanted, but it wasn't because of this young man. And he's going to probably be a first-round pick to play offensive line in the NFL. Look how easily he moved and how he stays square with all that. See him push off and go. And remember, when you're hitting someone and pushing off, you're trying to make sure you stay balanced yourself. Don't get knocked off your own feet.
Yeah, I don't have much advice because I didn't play NFL football, but I would just say stay out of this guy's way at 352 pounds. I mean, it's amazing that we're the same species as him. He just is enormous.
Just doesn't seem right, does it? And he's an Iowa kid, right? We always talk about Iowa offensive linemen who come out of the school there and how great they're going to be. Iowa kid who got away, went to Alabama, was a freshman All-American, and talked about transferring back to Iowa. In fact, he did for a very short time, never played a game there, and then went back to Alabama to finish out his career. Consistency is just going to be the key for him. If he's consistent and on his game, to me, he fits the Detroit Lions so well. It's almost central casting if he were to end up there.
Yeah, he made 39 starts at Alabama. Emmanuel Pregnant, he made 51 collegiate starts. Is he a plug-and-play guy?
I think so. Look at that size. Look at the physique. He's also going to be a guy that you're going to say, okay, if we are a team that's what we call gap scheme and we just want to move people, take a look at him.
Yeah.
Absolutely going to get that part of it done for you. But remember, he's played at Oregon, so he understands the necessity for speed, quickness, and movement skills, because that's what Oregon is built on, has been for a while, and continues under Dan Lanning. But you look at that frame, that physique, that much play time, the number of snaps, which means he soaks up a lot of things, different for different fronts, different ways defenses throw things at him, twists, stunts, all those things. He's had a lot of time on task against all of it.
We talked a lot about Caleb Lomu.
Okay.
And
look at all that getting in the air.
Almost
my
9.5.
goodness.
What do you look for when we're talking about, because they're not going up to catch a pass here, so what are you looking for as an evaluator?
Listen, when you go 9.5 and you are 300 plus pounds, I mean, you're talking about some explosiveness, right? You talk about coming out of there, firing out of a stance, and being able to knock someone back or off of their mark. 32-inch vertical, that is awfully impressive for a guy that big.
Yeah, 317 pounds. Pregnon, we just saw how easily he moved in the field drills.
9.3, that's another good broad jump for Pregnon. I mean, look at this, 35 on the vertical from Pregnon. We are getting some very explosive, strong people that are showing up here.
Caleb Tiernan.
Hey, don't sleep on Northwestern
Nope.
lineman. Peter Skoronsky coming out of there is developing into a very good guard for the Tennessee Titans. And look at this. He went ahead and said, Pregnon, I see you're 35. I'm going to add a half inch to it.
So we say farewell to this group. And farewell to perhaps one of the greatest mullets we've ever seen here. Is this mullet memory lane?
Oh,
is that
it
what
really
we got
is.
going on right here?
We got a little hairband going.
Oh, Mahomes is in the mix. Okay.
Joe Tippmann, nice.
Fano's in the mix now. And I don't know how you can top this ginger mullet from Iowa. Oh, my goodness. I don't think we're ever going to be able to unsee what we're about to see. What do you think? What's your analysis? I mean, I want your straight-up analysis.
I will say this is the first time in my entire life I've referred to Rich Eisen as blue collar.
Hey, my collar is blue today. What does that mean, man?
Oh, here we go. Let's look at the comps here. I mean, that is phenomenal flow across the board there. You see the arm length there. Rich, I had you at 29.5. I thought you got shorted. But
by the way, I appreciate the extra half inch on the height.
The NA.
My two sons would be like, that is not my height. And I appreciate the N/A. Because that information is available, but just not from me. Oh, baby. We got the shampoo and conditioner all-in-one version of the Combine when we come back.